So and now we fly from South Africa to Canada to meet another god sister of ours. She's a really inspiring. I've been watching her posts over the last year and a half, and they're just so inspiring, and she collects them and she brings them out and publishes them so that we can hear the words of Srila Gurudeva and the emphasis that Srila Gurudeva put on certain parts of it. So I'm going to ask, oh, she's there, great. I'm going to ask her to unmute. I would like to introduce our next speaker, Srimati Krishna Priya Didi. Welcome, Haribol. Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Didi. Thank you so much for hosting this. I've been watching it and it's absolutely amazing. I think this is like in the history books, really. There's so much festivals going on around the world, and you know, Gurudev says everything is favorable for bhakti. Everything in this world is put on earth to serve Krishna, everything. So I believe, can you hear? Okay. So I believe that, you know, all this technology right now and even this whole craziness going on in 2020, look how it's brought everybody around the world together, which wouldn't have happened otherwise. So it's amazing. So I just wanted do my pranam to Gurudev first. Namo Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyadaya Shushima Bhaktivedanta Narayana Vancha Kalpa Tuvisha Kripa Sindhu Vyevacha Patitanam Paramevyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo. So I have a lot of stories and stuff about Srila Gurudev, but I wanted to share some of the more like personal, intimate ones. There's, you know, generic ones and stuff, but some of the really valuable heart-touching lessons, I guess, that I learned from him. So a little history. I met Srila Gurudev in 2001. He came to Canada at that time. And before he came, Srimati, Vishaka Didi, Kishore Mohan Prabhu, Sudevi, Prem Prayojan Prabhu, they came and they established like a beautiful base for Srila Gurudev. So when I met all his beautiful disciples, I was like, wow, if all these devotees are so amazing and so wonderful, then how is Gurudev going to be? Because I remember sitting and listening to this Harikatha, and I was like, I've never heard this before. I didn't know. I grew up in ISKCON. My father's Stevadev Prabhu. He's a Prabhupada disciple. But yeah, I mean, I grew up listening to Srila Prabhupada and, you know, hearing Bhakti Rakshak Shri Gosvami Maharaj. And I always had a desire to, like, I need a pure guru. People ask me, are you initiated? Are you initiated? When I was growing up in ISKCON. And I was like, I'm not going to get initiated until I meet somebody who is as pure as Srila Prabhupada. I want a guru that's like Srila Prabhupada and nothing less. Because when you see the best, you're like, wow, I missed out on the association. I wasn't born yet, but that's what I want. So my whole growing up, I was like, I'm not taking initiation unless I meet someone who's just like Srila Prabhupada. So when I first saw a picture of Gurudev in the songbook, I was like, I don't know, it just touched my heart somehow. And I was like, who is this? I didn't know anything about him. And so I put his picture on my altar and I started worshiping him. This was like the first songbook that I had. And I didn't know any tunes. I didn't know what these songs were. I was like, this is so cool. Oh my God. And I ripped Gurudev's picture out of the songbook and I framed it and I put it on my altar. And I was like, there's some magic here. I'm just going to pray to him and see what happens. So, and then I used to look online and read his Harikatha and I was super inspired. So when he came to Vancouver, I was just like, I was done. I was already done. I was like, I ran up to him, I gave him a rose and I was like, you're mine. But the first time he ever, I spoke to him was in the Vedic Culture Center in Vancouver. And Lola Didi, she brought me to Gurudev through the huge crowd. And she said, Gurudev, this is Krishna Priya. And he said, oh, are you initiated? And I said, no, Gurudeva. I was like shaking. And he said, I've been waiting for you. And I was like, I was like, done. I went into the bathroom and I literally I bawled my eyes out for 2 hours. I was like, I don't know what's happening to me. All I know is that my life is completely changed. was completely changed. I was like, yeah, I called it my meltdown. Because I was like, why am I crying? Who is this person? Like, he just looked in my eyes, and his blue eyes that were like right into my soul. And then I was like, I'm done. I'm going to give everything I have to this person. And it just feels so amazing. So I went on tour with him, and we had so many like amazing, magical moments on tour. But one of the things I wanted to talk about today was his omniscience. Like, if someone's a Mahabhagava Vaishnav, they're omniscient, like Srila Prabhupada. They know past, present, future. They see everything. They know our hearts. And there's this one, I tell the story sometimes. I don't know if I ever told it in public, but one of the first witnesses I had, like witness time I witnessed his omniscience, was in Italy in 2001. And we had a huge festival. And then sometimes during the festival, Gurudev would get up when another person's speaking and leave. And some people were scared. Is he going to leave? Is he going to speak more? And he said, no, I'm staying here. And he left his Japamala there. And he got up and he walked to the very back of the temple room. And there was hundreds and hundreds of people there. It was a giant church. And he walked to this was like the most amazing thing I ever experienced at that time, because I didn't know. But he walked to the back of the temple room, and there's this one, like there was this woman there. She was probably 30. She was dressed in non-devotional clothes, just like jeans and a t-shirt. And she was like very sad, and she was about to leave. I guess she had somewhere to go or some work. And Gurudev actually got up off his Vyasasan in the middle of class, walked to the very back, and he started speaking to her. And I was at the back, so I saw this, and I was just like a bystander. And he started speaking to her like this. And then he called Brajnath Prabhu, oh, give me Harinam Mala. So he actually took the beads and he gave her Harinam on the spot. He said, okay, repeat after me. And I'm like getting goosebumps because I was right beside him, like, oh my God, I'm getting Harinam again. But he said, repeat after me. And he did the Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And I was just like amazed. He gave her Harinam, and she was just bawling her eyes out. And she was like, she took Harinam from him. He put the beads around her neck, and then she left. And then he went back up to the Vyasasan, middle of class, maybe thousands of devotees there. I mean, it was a jam-packed church, like full of devotees. And then he went and continued Harikatha. And I was just like, wow, like, can you imagine? I don't know who this devotee is. Wherever you are, I want to hear the story again, because I was so amazed by that. But another special time when I was in Mathura, and things were, getting very busy there. I spoke about a little bit with Pankaj, but one thing he said to me, because I used to complain, Gurudev, I don't know what the Diksha mantras mean. I don't know, like, what does it mean when we're meditating? Because when I took Diksha, you didn't tell me the word for word meanings of like, what does this mean? And he said, when you're meditating on, you meditate on Guru when you're chanting Guru mantra. You meditate on Mahaprabhu when you're chanting Mahaprabhu. And then he went through that thing, and then he got angry. He said, I told you so many times. He said, I tell everywhere in my Harikatha. If you listen to my Harikatha, everything is in there. So the reason is I was very neophyte, and I was saying, Gurudev, you didn't tell me. And he said, yes, I'm telling over and over and over again. You just have to listen. So whenever I spoke to him, or whenever I got to talk to him, the first thing he always says is, are you listening to my Harikatha? Are you understanding something? And I say, yeah. And at the time I thought, yeah, I know everything. And there's a famous story, and this actually happened to me. I don't know if it's happened to anyone else, but it was happened to me. I think it was in Eugene or something. And I was so new. It was literally probably like my first week of meeting Gurudev, but I was listening to his Harikatha, and I got the whole essence. Like, yeah, we want to be the maidservant of Srimati Radhika. Because before we didn't know. It was like, do I want to be, a queen in Dwarka? Do I want to go to Vaikuntha? Do I want to be a cow? Am I a flower? Whatever the Lord wants, I'll just chant and it'll just happen. So when I heard that, oh, actually we're manjaris, and this picture behind me, actually, the first time I saw it, I was like, what is this? Who are those gopis? Like, they're so beautiful. But yeah, so he said, so then he was so sweet. He came and he said, it was in a darshan, and he said, do you want to go to Vaikuntha? And then I was like, no, Gurudev. He's like, do you want to go to Dwarka? And I said, no, Gurudev. He said, do you want to go to the heavenly planets? And I said, no. And he went all the way up. And then he said, do you want to marry Krishna? And I said, no, Gurudev. And he was laughing. And then he said, what do you want? And then I said, I want to be a maidservant of Srimati Radharani. And then he was so happy. And I think it was because I was so new and I had just discovered this, but I understood, like, yeah, this is it. This is the goal, to be the maidservant of Srimati Radhika. And then he's like, very good. Now you understand. So that's one like gift he gave us, was this very, very, very hidden treasure. Like, it's 20 years since I met Gurudev, 21. Oh my God, he's eternal. But the secret that he gave us about this Manjari Bhav is so rare. Like, they say if you're in an ocean and there's a straw being thrown around in the ocean, what are the chances of that straw washing up on shore? What are the chances? That is our chance of even meeting a pure Vaishnava in our life. What to speak of what he's given us, like this desire to be the maidservant of Srimati Radharani. And it's like, I can't even imagine it, how fortunate we are. But really, we've been through 8,400,000 of species of life to even get to this point. We've been through probably 400,000 different types of human beings to get to the point where we meet a pure guru. We've been through so many lives where we've had bogus gurus and cheaters and everything. So this longing and this pain that we have in our heart, that's what he gave it to us. Like, he gave us like the solution to this longing that every jiva has, and that is the love of Radha and Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan. And Srila Prabhupada came and he established such an amazing foundation for this all over the world, like so beautiful. And when Srila Gurudev came, the devotees were so thirsty and they were so ready for it. They already knew all the basics. They knew about Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, all the books that Srila Prabhupada gave us. And Srila Gurudev came and he said, it's the same wine, different bottle. And so he's teaching us, like, how do we read Srila Prabhupada's books? What is the essence of all the instructions? Because we have to know everything. We have to know, Tattva Siddhanta, all the different Siddhantas, but also we have to have a goal in mind, because if we don't have a goal, then what are we doing? We're on an airplane, we're on a train, we're traveling here and there. But what am I doing? I'm chanting every day. What is the goal of chanting? If I'm offering artik, why am I offering artik? What does it mean when we offer artik to Radha Krishna? So all these things we do, Gurudev really brought so much light and everything to them, but I don't know how much time has gone.
You've got about 8 minutes left. Yeah, you're good.
Okay, I just wanted to read something that I really love, this verse, and it's Sri Mukta Charita. It's by Raghunath Das Goswami, and this is Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj's translation, and he's so beautiful. And this is something that I feel is the essence that Srila Gurudev gave all of us. It says, I'm fully indebted to Srila Gurudev because he's giving me so many things, which he does amazing. He's giving me the holy name containing the highest form of thought, aspiration, and ideal. And he's giving me the service of that great savior, the son of Mother Sachi, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is like a golden mountain indicating the way to Krishna Lila. And Srila Gurudev has brought me to Swarup Damodar, who is Lalita Devi, Srimati Radhika's closest friend. Then he's brought me to Sri Rupa, who ordered to distribute Rasa Tattva, and then to Sri Sanatan Goswami, who adjusts our position in relation to Raganuga Bhakti. Gurudev has brought me to Mathura Mandal. Gurudev brought me to Mathura Mandal. Those are really the best days of my life. So I'm so grateful for him to that. Where Radha and Govinda have their pastimes, where the forest, hills, and every creeper, shrub, and grain of sand are udipan, or stimuli, to help me remember Radha and Govinda. He has given me Radhakund and Giriraj Govardhan, and aho, he has given me assurance of all these. So I bow my head with deep respect unto his lotus feet. And I remember when Gurudev, when I first came to Vrindavan, it was so magical for me. I felt like, because he used to, in around 2001, Gurudev used to actually come on all the parikrams with us, whether sometimes walking if it was close and sometimes by car. And I remember being in all these places on parikram with Srila Gurudev in Navadvip, in Jagannath Puri, in Vrindavan. And really any devotee, they can attest if they've been on the parikrams. It felt like the time of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you look at some of these Navadvip parikram videos, there's like 10,000, 20,000 devotees chanting, dancing, singing. And it's like when you, if you look at some of these videos, you know, Mahaprabhu's birthplace with Srila Gurudev there, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur Maharaj, all the Vaishnavas, all the devotees, is basically like Golok Vrindavan or the days of Mahaprabhu. They're here on this earth and we're like so lucky to be a part of it. So, Jai. All glories to Srila Gurudev. And please accept my Dandavat Pranam, everybody. And yes, Haribo. I'm done.
That was so quick. I wasn't expecting you to just finish like that. But thank you so much, Didi, for sharing with us. Actually, it's really funny because it's like Srila Gurudev like you said, Gurudev knows everyone and knows everyone's heart, so he just gives exactly what everyone needs. There's not like a lacking of it, and no one, I don't think anyone that's met Srila Gurudev or been around Gurudev can say that they lacked anything from him, you know.
No, he knows everybody. Yeah
and this the concept of how rare what Srila Gurudev's come to give us, like,
it's so rare.
And the thing is, if I ever understand the gravity of that, I think I know that I'm making progress. Until I understand the gravity of that, actually, because
as I'm getting older, I understand. I felt like when I was younger, I was just like, wow, like it's the festival train, I'm gonna hop on it. But now that it's, you know, Harinam Sankirtan and preaching is going on everywhere, but this is all because of his mercy. Like, how many qualified sannyasis and devotees has he made? Look at all his preachers all over the world. And it's just amazing. And you can say, like, you can tell how amazing the guru is through his disciples.
Yeah.
And if you look at every single one of Gurudev's disciples, it doesn't matter how senior or how junior, if you took initiation in 2010 or you took initiation in 1996, every single devotee is like, I find they're so qualified. All the Gurudev's disciples, they all have this thick greed. They all know, like, it's amazing. Anyways, I love all my God brothers and God sisters. Love you all.
And we will love you. That's
Okay.
for sure. Thank you so much, Didi.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming and joining us.
Thank you for your seva too. You are so amazing. You're like, wow.
I'm lucky to have a family like you guys, so I can serve you also.
Dandavats.
Dandavat pranams. Thank you.